Oh, here comes everybody. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I want to be prompt. You know what I always say, sooner we start, the sooner we get done, right? I'm not going to start right now, but I will say good morning to everybody and thank you for joining us for the 2023 New Jersey Clean Communities virtual winter webinar. I think we have over 300 people registered for today's program. So we're going to give everybody just another minute or two to get their second cup of coffee or tea and log on. But once I see what our numbers are, yeah, we're over 200 now, but I'm going to give it another 2 minutes and then we'll get started. I am hoping to get to 250. Okay, we maxed out at 218. I'm going to give it one more minute. A minute is a long time when you're waiting like that. Okay. So now we're officially going to get rolling. So good morning, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I am Joanne Jamendon. I am the Executive Director of the New Jersey Clean Communities Council. And I just want to remind everybody before we get started that this webinar has been approved for 2 New Jersey Certified Clean Communities Coordinator credits, as well as 2 Certified Recycling Professional credits. I've been told that there are some hands raised. I'm not quite sure how to see that. So I'm just going to wait till we get through a few comments and then we'll get back to them if Rebecca tells me that they're important. We have a great agenda lined up today and some exciting new topics I think you're all going to enjoy. Just a little housekeeping, how we're going to run it. I really want to make sure that we're done way before noon. So we will be taking 1 or 2 questions after each speaker, but feel free to use the chat feature as you go, because obviously you don't have any audio to be able to ask the questions directly. But we will have or should have plenty of time at the end after all of our speakers for additional Q&A. I do want to say last night I was preparing my notes for today. So I looked up my comments from our 2022 winter webinar. And I always try to do a summary of what we've done for the year and then reflect on some initiatives we want to do for the upcoming year. So I was really happy to see that all of the initiatives that we talked about for 2023 were actually accomplished. In February of 2023 of this year, obviously, the New Jersey Clean Communities Council actually moved our offices from Trenton to Kean University. And it's amazing. If anybody ever is in the area, please call or stop by. I'm going to talk about this more in my presentation, but I just want to highlight it at the beginning is In January, the New Jersey Food Council kicked off the first working group meeting to start brainstorming ideas on how to collect, sanitize, and donate reusable bags to help all of the food banks and food pantries in New Jersey. And I am thrilled that we were actually able to launch this project last month, or actually in late October. And I will be talking more about that, and Renee will also be speaking about that today. And as you all know, New Jersey Clean Communities and the Association of New Jersey Recyclers hosted our first Sustainability in Motion conference in March. Next year is already underway, and it promises to be bigger and better than it was this year. So what I'm going to do now is try to share my screen. I can't see anybody raising their hand, so
I'll just jump in. Fred and Brenda, you have your hands raised. If it was an accident, just unclick it. If you have a question, please just put it in the chat. And we
they're
can
probably
answer it
just
then.
maybe saying hello.
Yeah.
So, hi, Fred. Hi, Brenda. So give me a minute, and I have no earth-shattering news to share with everybody today, but I just want to review, hopefully, some stuff we worked on. So as I said, I'm Joanne Jumendit. Really important thing, I think, is on our website, njclean.org, we have a calendar. We've had a calendar for years, but it's never had anything on it. I am really happy to say, like, this is huge, that we finally have an active, functioning, interactive calendar. So you'll see an email on the bottom, njccc@njclean.org. If anybody has any Clean Communities meetings, municipal coordinator meetings, cleanup events, or litter-related programs that they would like posted on this calendar, please send it to that email. I can actually include a link, a PDF. So this is huge news. I try to post on there if a county's having a coordinators meeting, because if you need credits and maybe your county isn't hosting any, you'll be able to know where they are and when they are and who to contact. So that's one important piece of information. Going to review, obviously we do a lot of outreach. I'm a big sharer. I don't want anybody to reinvent the wheel. So for those of you that may not go to the league or see different events, these are two of the banners, our 6-foot banners that we've been using for outreach. We also have one on the straw law, Skip the Straw campaign. One of our newer ones, and thank you to Nara from Ocean County, is all about cigarette litter. We're trying to prevent cigarette litter because now that bags are gone, cigarette butts are the #1 most littered item in New Jersey. So we have a new banner on that. If anybody would like the artwork, send me an email, or it might even be, if it's not already, I'm going to add it to best practices, because we do have some info on there. I'll talk about that in a minute. Keeping in line with the cigarette butt program, we have partnered with TerraCycle. You see on here is a container for cigarette butts. There's a smaller one that you can attach to a sign, or like if there's a bus stop and you have a lot of cigarette butts there, you can buy the containers, post them anywhere in your community. And then when you collect them, TerraCycle will actually pay the shipping to ship them to them, and they take them or recycle them and turn them into park benches or picnic tables. And all of that aspect is free. You just have to purchase the container from them. So if anybody's interested, once again, reach out to me. That's an exciting new program. Along the same lines, we're keeping with our cigarette butt program, is we have done and recently launched 2 new litter public service announcements in conjunction with the Broadcasters Association partnership. It's a partnership, but we're paying them under their public education program. It's a 4-to-1 campaign. So you spend $1,000, you get $4,000 back. And that's for any nonprofit or government agency. So if you want more information about who to contact for that, let me know. But in the meantime, I'm going to share both of these PSAs, and we are working on a few more for 2024. First is cigarette litter. It's only 30 seconds.
Cigarette litter is a serious problem in New Jersey. It's unsightly and harmful to the environment as cigarette filters never fully decompose. When washed into storm drains, they end up in our waters, leaching toxic chemicals and poisoning marine life. Billions of cigarette butts are tossed out each year, making them the most littered item on our roads and beaches. Please dispose of them properly in a trash can or ashtray. Together, we can make a difference. Find out more at litterfreenj.com. Sponsored by New Jersey Clean Communities Council.
So that's the first one. If anybody wants either of these, just let me know. I can send you the file. And if you have Clean Communities money that you would like to use to enhance this campaign and outreach in your area, please do. Then we have one on just general litter, which I think some of these aspects we're going to highlight more in 24, like balloon litter. That's going to be a focus probably in May, which is when a lot of people release balloons for graduations and weddings and stuff. But here we go.
Did you know that people tend to litter less when their community is already clean? Litter is a problem that affects us all. It's unsightly, harmful to the environment, can clog storm drains and cause flooding, and poses a danger to wildlife. Litter on our roads can pose a hazard to drivers and pedestrians. Here are some ways you can help your community. Cover your garbage and recycling cans. Keep a litter bag in your car. Not only will this keep your car clean, but it keeps litter from flying out of the window. Be mindful when carrying trash or loose items in truck beds. When loads are not properly secured or covered, they can become a hazard to both clean roads and other drivers. Avoid single-use plastics, such as straws and water bottles. Volunteer for a local cleanup program. And don't forget to recycle. We can all pitch in for a cleaner and healthier New Jersey. Find out more at litterfreenj.com. That's litterfreenj.com. Sponsored by the New Jersey Clean Communities Council, the New Jersey Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Awesome. I just really want to thank Middlesex County for inspiring me to do some litter-related PSAs. They did a great job of promoting them earlier this year just in their county. So thank you, Carol. Education and outreach, we continue to do this. I think you all know or should know that we have two sister websites. One is our original njclean.org, which I have to emphasize, the best practices updates are up and running. If you don't know what best practices are, I implore you that your homework is to make sure you review it. It gives you a lot of great information on how to be a Clean Communities coordinator without reinventing the wheel. Most importantly, we have an updated assembly list, book list, and we just added Clean Communities related field trips. We also have Litter Free NJ. I'm going to review a lot of that in a moment. And we're going to hear both from myself about our partnership with Recycle Coach, but also from Recycle Coach President Jeff Gallard shortly. I can't finish out my conversation without talking about litter data metrics. Obviously, New Jersey passed the single-use plastics law last year, and we kind of want to know if it's working or not. And we also need to know, where do we go next? What items should we focus on? So in conjunction with the Plastics Advisory Council, we came up with a litter data sheet. For those of you that do cleanups, this is totally voluntary, but we would relish you completing these forms and sending them once again to njccc@njclean.org. This is on our website under best practices, I believe. So if you want it and can't find it, reach out to me, but it's on njclean.org. And why can't I move on? Oh. Going to Litter Free NJ, we just did a refresh of this website, and we added in our new interactive education features, which Jeff is going to review. I'm just going to mention really quickly now. We updated our litter activity book. Folks always ask me, how do it's the end of the year, even though you have another few months to spend your money. People are always anxious to not have too much left over. So the whole seminar today is really to provide you with some creative ideas and easy ways to spend that funding. This is one example. Jeff's going to review it when he presents in a few, but keep in mind, just like our old activity book, there's a space for you to brand it for your town or county and print them up. We also have a 2024 calendar, which I'm excited to share with you today. I mentioned before, we have a reusable bag resource page. It took us quite a few meetings and a lot of ingenuity to get to this point, but I'm super excited to share with you, and I'm hoping that I'm going to try to go live and actually share this with you, but I'm not. Oh, told you I wasn't really good at it. Oh, I did it. Does everybody see that? Not that I can hear anybody, but let me back up. So we have a QR code that we created, which then will, grocery stores and other stores are actually putting the QR code on store receipts. And it will say, have reusable bags to donate, and you scan the QR code and it leads you to the reusable bag resource center, which looks like this. And we have a couple different options. The first one is Bag Loss Success, which is our reusable or our bag success video, which I'm going to show at the end. Here's an interactive map, which highlights all the different donation locations throughout New Jersey. Tips to donate. Renee's going to talk probably a little bit more about that. Most important for any of you, if you're hosting a one-day event or you're doing events in conjunction with your other recycling or hazardous waste events, you can easily post your event, even if it's 1 day, 1 hour, or you have 27 events. You go to this and you can add your event so everyone in New Jersey can see it. There's also a link to Litter Free New Jersey. This is the New Jersey Community Food Bank link because they've been a great partner with us. Obviously, the DEP, the New Jersey Business Action Center, Recycle Coach, and the New Jersey Food Council, which are all partners. So that's what the QR code looks like. It's a really user-friendly experience. We can change it pretty readily. I included the metrics for the QR code and for the link tree. One important thing to note is our click-through rate. So when people go to this website, they actually 75% of the time click through. Generally a click-through rate of like 10% is great. So we're really happy with that. Anybody that wants to do a reusable bag collection program, we encourage you to do that. We do have a reusable bag toolkit, which has a how-to document, flyers and signs, and obviously the resource ability to do all of that. If you have any questions, always email me. Couple announcements before I turn it over to Renee. I mentioned before, Sustainability in Motion. Our website is live and we have about 11 sponsors already. Always need some more. Our exhibitors are signing up. So if you want to be an exhibitor, please don't wait. We sold out last year. And for those of you that have been waiting anxiously to register, that link is now open and available. This is not up and running yet, but I think by next week, I will have it on our website. In conjunction with our Sustainability in Motion conference, we have our award banquet and ceremony. So anybody that would like to nominate themselves, their county, their town for an award, these are the categories that we will be highlighting. So take a look at njclean.org. And I will send an email out through all the counties once it's posted, but I just want you to be aware and start getting your award nominations ready. And a few reminders before I say goodbye or I hand it off to Renee is don't forget, if you haven't already, to file your statistical report. Do not forget to sign up for the monthly newsletter. Everybody sends me emails. They want to get credits and they want to know what's coming up. We always include upcoming events at the end of our monthly newsletter. So don't forget to do that. And obviously register for the Sustainability in Motion conference. Last year we sold out and a lot of people complained. So don't let it get away from you. And I had to share this. I got this morning in the Resource Recycling News. It's kind of a recycling thing. I don't know, Liz, if you're on here, but a couple years ago, when we were trying to get plastic bags out of the recycling mix, Liz and I, Liz Sweetie from Morris County, and I'm sure many other people all started sending emails to Hefty because they were promoting their bags as recycling, and this is how to collect your recycling is in bags, which we know we don't want them in there. So today, I read that they agreed to change their advertising language and pay $4 million to settle. So sorry, Hefty. And John Cena, isn't he there? Anyway, so that I just had to share that with you, and I'm not going to share my video with you because I think I've spoken already too much. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to stand by. Renee, I'm going to queue you up in a minute if you want to get your stuff loaded. Unless anybody has any questions for me, I doubt they do, but Rebecca, I'm going to ask you if there's any questions for me before I move on.
No questions for you, except just to verify they don't need to do anything to receive their credits. We're just gonna send the attendee list in.
Correct.
All right.
Yes, that's my job to do today.
Okay.
So, but thank you. So our next presenter today is Renee Lindahl. She's the co-founder of Goat Tote. I think she presented here like 2 years ago, but we've come a long way since we started this campaign, and now we're official. For those of you that don't know about Goat Tote, it's the leader in reuse solutions for reusable bags. They've been in market since 2020 and has collaborated with some of the largest retailers in North America and have their innovative retail solutions. And we are proud to have them on board today and excited for Renee to share all the updates.
Thank you so much, Joanne. And yeah, let me just go ahead and share my screen. I've been presenting quite a lot, so there might be some kind of Passover here if everyone has been on a lot of these meetings. So I'm sorry if it's
Oh,
repetitive.
it's all good.
Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen. As Joanne said, my name is Renee Lundahl, and I am the co-founder of Goat Tote. And today I would like to speak with everyone about the reuse revolution. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the circular economy. It is driven on the basis of creating a product and using that product over and over again through the systems in place, creating a loop for the product until it reaches its end of life. And then normally it is upcycled, recycled, repurposed, or something along those lines. What most people are more familiar with is the linear lifestyle, excuse me, is the linear life cycle of a product in which we make, use, and throw that product away. So Goat Tote was built around the circular economy, and we know that reuse is the most effective way to make an environmental impact for many of our everyday materials that we use, and our focus is on reusable bags. As Joanne mentioned, our offerings include innovative retail solutions, focusing on programs that aid in the shopper and the retailer alike, as well as larger scale redistribution projects with community organizations like we're doing here in New Jersey. So why do we need systems for reusable bags? Well, did you know that if a reusable bag is not actually reused, it's worse for the environment than a single-use plastic bag? So when you incorporate the materials and the energy it took to create that bag, if it's not reused several times, it's actually worse. We're also not aware of many local recycling facilities in the country that accept reusable bags from residents. So ultimately dooming these bags for the landfill. That's why we like to say that we are not here to save plastic bags. The legislation has already done that. We are here to save reusable bags. And it's the legislation in New Jersey that brought Goat Tote here. So the law around single-use plastic and paper bags has been a huge success in New Jersey, and that should be recognized. I think that the numbers are in the billions of the amount of bags that has been saved. But like any law or legislation, there are ultimately some unforeseen consequences. So those consequences include residents and shoppers having a large quantity of excess bags, whether that is from continually forgetting their reusable bags, or more often, e-commerce shoppers don't have much of a choice than to accept reusable bags because they don't have a choice in how their products are packaged. As I'm sure many of you have heard, these unforeseen consequences cause quite an uproar through the state and the country. And there was even talk about amending the law. We believe that making any amendments to this legislation would just amplify another problem and cause a lot of confusion along the way. And really, if you think about it, challenges and problems are not always bad. More often than not, those are the times when the best innovations come to place. So let's go through some of the issues at hand. So number one, shoppers forget their reusable bags and purchase more reusable bags. Personally, I have a reusable bag company, but I'm also a busy mom and sometimes forget my bag. I like to say that I will put a chicken in my purse before I will buy another reusable bag. Most of us have enough to last a lifetime. As I said, shoppers accumulating more bags than they could use because of e-commerce and delivery. Retail and shopping has changed, and we're all about the convenience factor, which is, it's just the world that we live in today. Many reusable bags are treated as single use. They only cost, some bags cost less than 50 cents, and people don't think twice about grabbing some if they need some. Again, there's no way to locally recycle these bags. And then, as we know, food banks and food pantries are under the law as well, and they need to use reusable bags. They purchase a majority of them new, and although some do accept donations, these bags need to be cleaned before redistribution. Our neighbors that utilize these pantries deserve to get their food in a dignified way, just like you would expect at the grocery store. So taking some of these issues into account in collaboration with the New Jersey Food Council and Joanne and Clean Communities, New Jersey created the New Jersey Reusable Bag Redistribution Program. So because of Goat Tote's experience in reuse and reusable bags in the retail sector, we were asked to sit at the table with many other stakeholders, like I said, NJFC, Clean Communities, the DEP, county coordinators, Recycle Coach was on many of these calls, third-party delivery services. And we started with just a few counties to really create a blueprint for a first of its kind project. And this is also something to be really proud and really excited about. I am very much involved in reuse around the country, and there is no other area that is doing a project like this. So through the legislation that was enacted and projects like this, New Jersey is truly setting the stage for what reuse should look like. So to simply put, residents in participating counties can donate their excess reusable bags to their local recycling center, food pantry, or other participating establishment, and Goat Tote cleans those bags and redistributes them to those in need and the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. So we have learned a lot in a short amount of time. We really only started collections around May of 2023, and the program varies slightly per county. So some participants do one-off events, some group them with other events like shredding events, some put up permanent bins so residents can return them at their local recycling center or housing authority. We even had the Girl Scouts create a silver award badge for their scouts, and they did collections in their area. All the programs were little to no setup costs and pretty easy to implement. The amount of bags donated in this short amount of time at this point have almost exceeded 70,000. Again, these are all bags that would have sat around in someone's trunk before eventually ending up in the waste stream or clogging up the equipment from those that thought that they could recycle the bags. Either route would ultimately be the landfill. So from the bags that have been serviced, we've been able to redistribute about 90% of once they are washed and sanitized. We have found that roughly 10% of the bags can't be reused. This is due to rips and tears, the smell of smoke, or excessive pet hair. There are some tips to donate, such as, removing any stickers or staples and things like that, because those ultimately make the washing process more lengthy and difficult. And this has also allowed us as a company to study the composition of these bags. We know that not all bags are created equal. Thin bags, various materials, poor printing, and colors that show stains are all important takeaways from the project. So we have been able to test different washing methods and are excited about our proprietary washing system that aims to keep microplastics out of the water. Ultimately, these are still bags made mostly of plastic. And also our washing system allows us to extend the lifespan of the bag. It's not, more often than not, it's not as easy as just throwing bags into a washing machine. Data like this can help drive our future decisions around reusable bags and also what is acceptable in the state. Let's just check my notes here. So in addition to the redistribution, we're also able to make sure these bags are getting responsibly recycled. So if we do get bags that we cannot redistribute, we are trying to set up various recycling partnerships with people like TerraCycle who can recycle these bags and make sure they don't end up in the landfill. And the need is there. It has been very clearly communicated that the food banks and the pantries and those in need indefinitely need clean and sanitized reusable bags. The picture on the left of the screen shows how a lot of donated bags are brought to Goat Tote. So I have had some comments on other calls. Well, why can't we just do a visual inspection? Does every bag need to be washed? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my groceries put just in a visually inspected bag that came looking like that. And then the visual on the right is what they look like once they are clean and sanitized, look like new. So this is some of our current participating counties and organizations: Union County, Hudson County, Atlantic County, the town of Secaucus, like I mentioned, the Girl Scouts, and the Sparta Community Food Pantry. So where are we now? So the program is growing every day. As Joanne kind of mentioned, NJFC Clean Communities and Recycle Coach and others have come together to create this campaign to educate shoppers about where you can donate your reusable bags through that QR code that she saw. So if you scan that, it takes you to that link tree and you can find out where to donate and find out some other information about bags. Retailers throughout the state have been asked to include this on their receipt, websites, e-commerce orders, things like that. And some retailers are also accepting bags back and donating them themselves directly to the food pantries. So based on the volume of donations that we are receiving just from those handful of participants, coupled with the expansion that has the potential here through this link tree and QR code, we are confident that we can service all of Community Food Bank of New Jersey's bag needs, meaning that they can rely on reused bags for the families that they serve instead of having to purchase new ones. And And where do we go from here? So the law around single-use plastic and paper bags is clearly making a positive impact, and the program steps it up a notch to ensure that excess bags go to the right place, but there's still much work to be done. As I mentioned, the setup costs are little to none, but there is a cost to service the bags. A cost that I am certain is less than buying new bags and less than, at least what I know it costs to recycle the bags. But what we need is more communities that are willing to support the program in their area. So whether you are running your own collection or whether the bags are donated to a food bank in your county, we need more counties to step up and fund the cleaning of those bags. In one county here in New Jersey, we're picking up double the population in reusable bags every 6 weeks. And again, this is just one county, and we're really only currently servicing a snippet of the state. So I've given quite a few presentations on, like I said, on this topic, and there's usually some comments like, retailers should have reuse systems and in their stores and things like that. And I certainly agree with that. And I could help if there are anyone on the call that is interested in that. And yes, I do also wish that people would just remember their bag more often and use less reusable bags. But this is a problem that we can't just wish away. We need to build for the now and the issues at hand. With the systems in place, we can continue this work and benefit from its outstanding success. The residents benefit, the food pantries and the food banks benefit, the neighbors in need benefit, waste management benefits, and the state benefits environmentally and socially. So let's continue this great work and set the stage for the rest of the company on what bag bans need to incorporate when they are implemented and how reuse is done right. So if anyone is interested in how you can support this program in your area, please reach out. My email address is there at the bottom. I can also put it in the chat for you. So thank you so much, and I welcome any questions anyone might have.
So we did have one question, Renee. The program, does it allow for canvas bags as well?
It does allow for canvas bags. If people have excess, we'll take them. Yeah. But I would say the majority of it are the reusable bags, that you see at the grocery store.
Okay, great. Thanks. That's the only question I see for right now, other than the chat is disabled for everyone. So if you want to put your email in the Q&A section instead, so everybody can see it.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
All
Oh,
right.
thank you. I don't know if we can get that fixed, but I guess Q&A, as long as Q&A is working. I just really, and I sort of skipped over it. New Jersey continues to be the innovative state. I know, we get complaints about the fact that we have no bags, but we have so much less litter. And I think I'm not preaching to the choir here, because you all know, I think most of you support this law, but the law was almost changed because of the reusable bag initiative. So I just really want to commend all of the counties and municipalities and other stakeholders that have really come to fruition on this, and Jeff especially, who helped create the Linktree. It not only looks amazing, it's got a lot of information. I personally get more emails every single day about the QR code. That's like the #1 email I get. I probably get 5 a day. Where do I go? They see something on the receipt and then they throw it away, but for some reason they remember Clean Communities. So I find it fascinating. I know other states are looking at what we're doing and learning from all of that. So I just really want to take a moment to say thank you, not only to the counties and the towns and to Renee and Jeff, but even the Girl Scouts. I mean, what an amazing job 2 young Girl Scouts from Mercer County have done. I want to say they collected over 5,000 reusable bags in a couple of months, and that's just fantastic. And their goal not only was to do a silver award project for themselves, but to model this program for other Girl Scouts and other scouting organizations to be able to emulate throughout New Jersey. So kudos to all of you. And you obviously can use your Clean Communities funds to fund this program. It's an important initiative, and the food banks continue to tell us that no matter what, they're going to need reusable bags. And it doesn't have to go to the food banks. If you have a social service agency in your county or town that would like them, obviously you get to designate the priority for your bags in your area if you're collecting them. So we are on target, if not a little early. So we're going to continue on. Our next speaker actually needs no introduction, but I will do so anyway. Recycle Coach is a household name in New Jersey, and Jeff Gallad was recently appointed president of Recycle Coach, which is an innovative technology company that offers waste and recycling solutions for various government agencies. And through a partnership with New Jersey Clean Communities this year, they have expanded their collaboration to the litter abatement arena. Thank you. Although based in Toronto, Jeff is a regular presenter at national and local conferences, but we all know and love him here in New Jersey. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Jeff.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Great to be here right before the holidays with you. Great to just see all the innovation. I'm really excited for all of our panelists. I think, we have a great opportunity in New Jersey, being involved in your municipalities already, but there's so much other innovation happening with Tom, AJ, and Renee's companies. So great to be a part of this panel. I'm going to quickly review some of the resources that we've built in conjunction with Clean Communities. If you haven't seen it, it is a bit repetitive from what I did at the League, but maybe a little bit more information and just some actionable items if you've still got some dollars to spend this year. And we're going to kind of just go live right on the websites, and I'm really excited how this has come to fruition, and most importantly, I'm really proud of our team that typically focused on recycling education, but we pulled them out of their comfort zone to talk about litter abatement, talk about single-use plastic. And if you kind of remember when this legislation was being passed right in the beginning, it was Joanne that did a really great job at kind of bringing all of us stakeholders together. It's actually, truthfully, it's Joanne that saw the vision and the opportunity to use Recycle Coach as a communications vessel across the state. And I think even our friends at the DEP, who manage our relationship, have seen the fact that 2.1 million people in New Jersey used Recycle Coach in the last 12 months. What else can we do with this engaged group of residents? If they're already a little bit more interested in better recycling and better waste behavior, it's a natural fit to be more interested maybe in Clean Communities. If you're also a recycling coordinator, you're stuck with us for the next 6 years. We just finished our master renewal with the New Jersey Department of Environment. So a big thank you to Janine, to Seth, to Jill, and then to Aaron Jensen. We're quite grateful that we got that done this year. This is the statewide tool that we've built. And, if we start right from njclean.org, it's got a high impact placement right here. And this is for all of you to use. This is not just for people to come organically to njclean.org. I wrote down some of my notes. Put this in your email signature. If you're, if you're going into a school presentation and you have the ability to put this up on a projector, or the kids have smartphones or computers, it's a really easy URL to remember: njclean.org/recycle coach. This is great programming resources for you. We all get those calls. Hey, I'm teaching recycling. Hey, we're talking about litter today. Hey, we're talking about environmental. What do you have for me? And I'm sure all of you on this presentation get those calls regularly. And because of our brand in New Jersey, we're starting to get those calls, and we're shipping them back to the web widgets on your municipal pages, but also on the njclean.org. And so very similarly to what we do in the recycle space, we're doing weekly We Wanted to Know questions. This is all around single-use plastic. We do then get in a bit on the legislation, the benefits of the law. And then this is a video series that's available to buy for your local sites and your local programming, but that are here, to demonstrate what we're doing. And so I'm really impressed with how these videos came along for the local programs. And I'll just play a little bit.
Litter is a problem. Not only does it ruin the beauty of where we live, but it also has serious implications for the health of our planet and its inhabitants. Let's look at 4 problems that litter creates: environmental damage, health risks, economic impacts, and aesthetic value. Litter can cause environmental damage in a variety of ways. It can pollute our waterways, harm wildlife, and damage ecosystems. When litter is not properly disposed of, it can end up in our streams, rivers, and oceans, posing a serious threat to aquatic life. In addition, litter can be harmful to wildlife that may mistake it for food or become entangled in it. Litter can also damage ecosystems by disrupting natural habitats and in some cases introducing invasive plant species. Litter can pose significant health risks to humans and animals alike. Discarded items such as needles or broken glass can cause injuries to people and pets. In addition, litter can attract vermin, bugs, and other pests.
And so I encourage you to come see the rest of the videos that we've built here around litter abatement. And then we start talking about content. And, truthfully, while most of this content and these tools have always lived in a Recycle Coach type widget, we've always intended that you can use it as your own. You can post it on your social media channels. You can use it in newsletters and link out to it. And so we want you to encourage to, again, as Joanne said, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. Link out to the stuff, use the stuff as much as you want. And then Joanne alluded to, we've redesigned the litter activity book. I'm going to show you that right now. And then a calendar. Let me just pop them both open at the same time. And then I can't see my browser because of Zoom. There we go. And so this is an activity book where, I think Joanne was alluding to using some of your Clean Communities dollars to get these printed. Use them at Earth Day events, at community outreach events, drop them off to, Girl Scout groups or community centers that you work with on clean communities. And the best part is, as Joanne said, you're welcome to put your logo here, your contact information, something local that makes sense for your initiatives as well. Maybe it's an upcoming event, etc. We've designed these that they're a simple PDF to download. So all you have to do is within a PDF environment is drag and drop your logo or add a text box. Really easy to do. If you're having trouble, please reach out to me or Kim Stewart. We're happy to help. The next is the calendar, and January is around the corner. I'm not done my holiday shopping yet, so that's scary. But the idea is that here is again a great way. Have these printed by a local printer. Somebody, you can even go to like a Staples or a FedEx. They'll do it if you upload it. And every month starts to kind of talk about a different topic. And so start off with your New Year's resolution. Skip the straw, storm drains, Earth Day. And these are just a really high impact visual calendar. And again, if you're savvy in PDF and you want to, with a PDF builder, and you want to localize these with some of your events that you know about, you're welcome to add as much local content on these as you want. And then again, at the end, a placement to brand it with your local messaging as well. Then at a local level, we have created, we'll go here to our discovery zone. Beyond our recycling education, we've also created the ability for you to purchase Clean Communities packages through Recycle Coach with your Clean Communities dollars to add more content to what is the discovery zone. And what we're starting to see, if you wear the recycling coordinator hat, you may have seen an exercise recently that we've done with this, but the Discovery Zone tab, this web widget, it can go anywhere. It doesn't just have to be on the recycling page or on the collection schedule page or on the Clean Communities page. We can design and release to you code to have just a focus on the Discovery Zone if you have on your municipal or your county website something that's high impact around education. And so these packages are available to purchase through Kim Stewart, your customer success manager in New Jersey. And it's a great way to amplify litter reduction across your, people who are coming here anyway for recycling and waste information as well. It really just helps kind of take it to the next level of content. And again, we want you to use this kind of stuff offline as well, as much as you want. That's kind of the technology in a nutshell. I'm just going to pop open my deck. I went full screen as requested. Now I don't know how to get out. There we go. I just sell the tech, I don't make it. There we go. And yeah, if you don't know Kim Stewart, she's based in New Jersey. She's fantastic. I'm based in Toronto, but often in Jersey. And here are the packages that are available in Kim's email. And that's it for me. Rebecca, any questions, thoughts, insults? I can handle them.
No insults yet, but
Yeah.
there's still time. I don't have any questions yet, so if anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat now while we still have Jeff available. I get a yay that you re-upped their NJ package, so
We're
congrats on
very
that.
happy. Yeah. And thank you everybody for all your support. Everybody says great things about us to the DEP, and that really does matter. Thank you.
I actually don't have a question, but I have a comment while you close out and before we I think we're going to bring AJ up next. But I want to go back to the litter calendar.
Yep.
Very similar to the activity book, but I just really want to mention, Jeff's team and I worked on the calendar, and it was very intentional. Every single month we have a different message, and it was very intentional from the standpoint of what we wanted to highlight, and when we were highlighting it. I mentioned before that balloons, were in May, because that tends to be the month that a lot of people release balloons, and we don't want that. November is cigarette butt month, because we were launching that campaign at the league in November. Obviously, Christmas is packaging, but what we hope to do down the road is, as we move through 2024, take each month and maybe do a PSA and do outreach based on that intentional content. July is Plastic Free July, so of course that's where we went with that. I just want you to know, if anybody has any interest in doing that, we're still trying to partner with Sustainable Jersey on a litter content to try to get all the town's points for doing some of these anti-litter initiatives. So it is in the works. I just really wanted to throw that out there as a talking point before we move on. Thank you, Jeff, as always, not only for, your great presentation, but just for all the help you have, done to progress clean communities in so many of these important initiatives lately. Tom, if you don't mind, we're going to hold off and have you present last, but we are moving along quite nicely today. I think you're all going to love our next presentation. AJ Caruso is a 24-year-old entrepreneur who is the CEO and founder of Love Blue Inc., which is a registered 501c3 national nonprofit organization, which is focused on conserving our oceans through community outreach and organized beach cleanups. So he fits right in to this presentation, obviously, and what our mission is here at Clean Communities. He's an avid surfer, beachgoer. He's been a lifeguard in New Jersey and in North Carolina, where I think he is now at Myrtle Beach, for about 12 years. And he actually went to Coastal Carolina University for entrepreneurial management. So I'm sure his alma mater is very proud. And for those of you that went to the Sustainability in Motion conference last year, you may have met him. He was the only agency that we comped an exhibitor booth to, just because he was just too cute to say no to. Just kidding, AJ. So we're going to turn it over to you, and everyone's going to be wowed and impressed with what you're doing here in New Jersey.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me on today, giving me the time. Let me share my screen real quick. Here we go. Get this up. So yes, thank you all for coming. We came a long way from Love Blue, where we started. We started as a 3-person beach cleanup. Obviously, Joanne said I was been a lifeguard in the Wildwood Crest Beach Patrol for the past 10 years. And year 5, I just decided to start a little beach cleanup with a couple of lifeguards and surfers. was only 3 of us, took an Instagram picture, and we constantly went out each week, every Sunday, and kept posting pictures with our progress, and the mission kept growing more and more. And after that summer, we were able to take our mission to different communities throughout the East Coast and plant our seed. So here's a little bit about us. We work towards conserving our oceans through community outreach and organized beach cleanups. Our beach cleanups are the staple of what we do. So every community that we get into, we try to plant our seed with the beach cleanup to hopefully adopt the full model. And a huge part of our model that we've been developing is our public cleanup stations. It's become a huge commodity, hot commodity for different communities. We have Wildwood Crest and Cape May currently on board. And this is an idea that we got from our expansion up and down the East Coast. We just got different ideas and made it our own. So walk you through this. This is the goals and objectives of our public beach cleanup program. We try to raise awareness. Obviously, the cleanup stations themselves are very eye-catching to any coastal community. And now we've been noticing that just the stations and our logo alone is really starting to make people think twice and engage in our movement. And that's one of our things that we want to do. We want to boost the engagement. We want to have people, take part on their own cleanup. They can go on Instagram and share their message and their experience with it. And leading by example, that's one of the biggest things for our mission is leading by example, personal responsibility. And, that itself has a ripple effect to those around us. So, I've had the chance to witness in real time people using our cleanup stations and just the people around them showing interest in it as well. So it's really starting to develop into exactly what we wanted. And it's inspiring our youth. We have different colleges and universities that have chapters of Love Blue up and down the coast. 3 in New Jersey that are doing some great work. And their goal is to help plant that seed in the community and hopefully adopt our beach cleanup station programs. And, that's something that they really take a lot of pride in. So today I'm not only representing the organization, I'm representing all their hard work that they've been doing as well. Here are our chapters. We got Stockton University. They take care of Atlantic City and surrounding beaches. Rowan University, they take care of Atlantic City all the way down to Wildwood. And then we have Monmouth University up at Long Branch and surrounding beaches as well. Monmouth has been our most recent chapter, and they've been doing some great work. Stockton's been around for a while, and we're really trying to develop our Rowan chapter. They're obviously not too close to the beach, but there's a lot of people that own beach homes around there, so we try to connect them into the movement as well. Here's a little video of how to use our cleanup station. So you just grab a bucket, grab a friend, go on our little beach cleanup. Obviously some beautiful views. Once you collect all your trash, you just bring it back to the cleanup station, dump it in. And you just return it right back to the cleanup station. This is a really good, it's convenient. And it's nice, people like to go on walks on the beach. So I know personally, I see trash every time I go on a beach walk. So it's nice to be able to just grab a bucket, do your walk, pick up trash, and then dump it without having to hold it all in your hands and run back to the trash can. Oh, I think I skipped a couple. Oh, sorry about that. Oh my God. Here we go. Okay, yeah. So here's our evolving concepts. This is the generation 1 that we have. It's the simplest concept and it's the easiest that we made so far. It's just box shaped, made with a wood frame and PVC trim, and we got bamboo on the sides and the top, kind of give it that tropical look. The generation 2 is an updated design. This one, we were actually able to partner with the Boy Scouts, and they helped us with this one. So that was really cool. And that's also, an incentive for other Boy Scouts that want to ever work with us in the future. It's good luck for them, good luck for our organization and the community as well. And then we have generation 3, the newest design. And my favorite design, it looks the best, and it's the best in the weather as well. We've been just trying to develop our designs and see what works best for us, what works best for the community, what's going to last the longest. And the Octagon design seems to be doing the best. It's made with recycled PVC panels that last very long. We got the wood frame and topped with cedar shakes. We have 5 of these ones out in Cape May right now, and they're looking very good. It matches perfect with the houses and the businesses around in Cape May. So we're very proud of our newest generation. And yeah, over the years, I've been collecting statistics on, just how much trash we actually are collecting. Oh, sorry about that. Here we go. Just got to do this for a second. So so the past 3 years is in Wildwood Crest. The past 3 years, we just wanted to see how effective our cleanup stations are, how much trash people are collecting, and how it's relating to our community cleanups throughout the summer. People are using it more and more each year, you could see, and it's been transpiring over to our cleanups, like I said. Oh, 1 second. Ooh. Yeah, and so we launched in July of 2021, and so far, with all the collected amount that we've recorded, we're at 3,630 pounds removed from our beaches. So obviously that is a lot, and that's just people going out on their own time and doing their own work. So this is not this is just a gradual over time collected effort, and it's really good to see. And as we keep adding more to the community, we're seeing a bigger impact each year. And this is what I'm talking about, transpiring over to our community cleanups. We keep track of all the pounds we pick up at each cleanup. Obviously 2021 was a big year, post-COVID summer. And then that was also the summer. We got our cleanup stations into the community. We have signs of awareness, and our presence is really just growing now there. So obviously a dramatic drop in pounds from year to year. And we're seeing it grow more and more each year, and more awareness in the community. So it's great to see. The public feedback is amazing. So many people love this idea. They're getting involved. They're reaching out about getting it into their community. So I think this is a really great program for any community, not just the beach either. We've had people approach us about, rivers and lakes and bays. So I think this is only the beginning of our cleanup station program. And obviously you guys can see from the comments, people enjoy it a lot. So far, this is where we have all of our locations for our cleanup stations. Wildwood Crest, we have 3. Tried to even them out so we can cover as much beach as possible. And then here in Cape May, we have 5 stations. The Cove, perfect spot, surf spot. That's a community that we try to target, the surfers. So we were happy to have that down there. And obviously up the coast, people have been using it a lot. So it's been great to see. And yeah, we're going to continue to innovate. So as time goes on, we're learning what works best and what's most effective, and inviting an enjoyable experience for our volunteers. Our latest addition is our QR codes that we added to the station. So you scan the QR code, all of our information comes up, all of our social media. And there's even a drop box where you can drop the pictures of you doing a cleanup. So, people love seeing themselves on social media. And, also when people see their friends taking part, it makes them want to take part. That's that ripple effect. So that's something that we're trying to evolve, is getting people to send us pictures in of them using it, and just the whole social media aspect itself. That video I made of me doing the cleanup, that's only a little bit of what we want to work with in the future. And we want to start creating challenges, opportunities, competitions in the future, and just, make it more fun and inviting, and just an overall better experience. From that sustainability in motion, we were able to partner with Garbo Grabbers, which is an amazing addition for all of our cleanups up and down the East Coast, and it would be great to get them into the cleanup stations as well in the future. You can carry more trash, it siphons out the sand, and it doesn't take up as much room either. So it's a lot easier for our college chapters. They don't have to carry around the buckets anymore, so it's great. And also just gloves and trash pickers, because people don't like getting their hands dirty. So we're going to continue to evolve and innovate this concept right here, but this is our latest one, the QR code, and you guys can check that out in Cape May and Wildwood Crest. But yeah, thank you for watching on behalf of Love Blue Inc. and all of our chapters up and down the East Coast, especially here in New Jersey. I thank you for your time, and hopefully we could work together for a better, sustainable future.
AJ, that was amazing. I'm
Thank you.
sure everybody is captivated with this program and your passion for cleaning up our beaches. And I would love to expand it, obviously, throughout New Jersey and add some lakes and rivers. I know we have some questions. I have a bunch, but I'm gonna let Rebecca ask a few.
I also have a bunch, but most of the questions are about the station. So if you could maybe just explain a little bit more how you were able to get the permissions for the station, like who was involved, and how is the trash weighed and emptied out, who handles that, and then do you have any issues with equipment or supplies being stolen? It's a lot of
So
questions in one, but
yeah, no, it's fine. So yeah, Mr. Cabrera, the mayor of Wildwood Crest, he was the first one to approach about this idea, and was the first to approve it. We got it right in front of the headquarters in Wildwood Crest, the Beach Patrol headquarters. So that's like one of the hottest spots in Wildwood Crest. He was all cool with it. He signed it off for us, and he allowed us to expand the program to two other streets in Wildwood Crest. And we take care of the trash. So I personally have been doing it in Wildwood Crest the past 3 years. But we have the whole model in Wildwood Crest, not just the cleanup stations. We have the community cleanups, the stations, obviously, the signs, and our community outreach as well. So, and I'm also on the green team. So I've been very involved with taking care of it and just, taking track of everything. So I'm trying to hand that off to next generation soon. So whoever's going to be taking charge of the cleanups in Wildwood Crest, they'll be taking charge of that. But in Cape May, they take care of the trash. They record it and dispose of it through Public Works, I believe. But it was the same thing. I met with Eric from Department of Public Works, and he set everything up. I forget who I met at the Sustainability in Motion, but they're the ones who got us together and made it happen. So, but yeah, Cape May takes care of the trash, and in Wildwood Crest, we have our interns take care of the trash.
great, thank you.
Mhm.
Do you have any issues with the equipment disappearing or supplies, or is it the honor system's working?
The honor system's working. I will say this summer we did have a little incident in Wildwood Crest on the border of Wildwood, but yeah, it was just the buckets were stolen, so they're not too bad to replace.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all from the, do you have any bins for non-beach locations, or do you stick to beaches only?
No, we don't have any yet, but I definitely think that's an idea for the future. I've already had community members approach me about it, so it's definitely something we can expand on.
Great, thank you. I think that's all from the chat. So Joanne, you're free to ask your questions.
I have a list. One, out of curiosity, because I know you're involved, have you noticed a reduction in plastic bags since you've done the cleanups?
Totally, definitely.
That's what I was hoping you would say.
Mhm.
We would certainly welcome your feedback as far as what the number one item you're finding now or the top 3 items. I know you have volunteers doing the cleanup, so probably the litter data form wouldn't be relevant. But, I know when we did the beach cleanup earlier this year, it was a lot of food wrappers.
Yep.
But would welcome that. I also would encourage you to send information to NJCCC or me directly to post on our website. If you have beach cleanups that are open to the public, that would be great to share. That was one of the reasons that we incorporated an active calendar, because instead of dealing with emails all the time, where can I go and do a cleanup? They can just go to the calendar to find. So we're sort of helping ourselves, helping each other. That's what I meant to say, sorry. To your kiosks, you mentioned you were talking recycled plastics. We're big partner. We like to create partnerships. So I was thrilled that you and Chris from Garbo Grabbers got together and are supporting each other because they're a great friend of Clean Communities. But I'm thinking Trex. Trex was also at Sustainability in Motion. Kelly and Stephanie are great partners with us, and they will be back. So, and obviously that's what they do. They collect plastic bags and other plastic film, and they generate. So maybe we can work on
Totally.
that. And lastly, I'll probably have another couple before we're done. Do you have how are they funded? Like, would you consider, like, if a company wanted to sponsor a kiosk and have their name and say this, kiosk sponsored by, won't mention a name. Is that something you would
Yeah, I
consider?
think we can do that. It would it would be a donation from them to the community, and we would just need to get the community to sign off on it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know if your contact information is in the Q&A or in the chat, but please add it if you can. You did talk about Monmouth University, so I'm excited. We have a lot of adopted beach programs, a lot of cleanups going on throughout Monmouth County. So that certainly begs more discussion. They're very active, and we probably should have you at a coordinators meeting. So Will or
That'd be
Anthony
awesome.
or Sam, if you're on here, take note. Any other questions for AJ before we move on? I know.
I just emailed some questions to AJ because I have too many for right now.
Well, if we have time for one more before we move on.
So I do have one that just came in. Does your staff normally separate the recyclables from trash, or?
Yeah, after every cleanup we do that, and when I was doing it for myself, the cleanup stations, I was separating it as well.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. That was fantastic, and I think everyone is now going to want a kiosk in their town somewhere. What a great idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. So last but certainly not least, our next presenter is Tom Tylek. He's with Rand Marine. I'm not even sure how we connected, Tom. I think it was probably just an email from you to me, and we sort of took this to the next level, right? So he's the sales manager for Rand Marine, which is, they service the whole Northeast US territory. He's a proud native of New Jersey. He's lived in Middlesex, Sussex County, and currently lives in Monmouth County, where he resides with his wife and 3 amazing kids. So he's really passionate about the environment, passionate about litter. So he's so obviously involved in Clean Communities. He doesn't know what he's getting into. It's not Shark Week, but he's going to tell you all about some exciting. I had to throw that in there because, but you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn it over to you, Tom. And I think this is another hands-on opportunity for our coordinators to get involved in. So here you go.
Thank you very much, Joanne, and it is an absolute pleasure to be here. Just hearing everybody speak about litter cleanup and the cleaning up plastics. I mean, this is something that we try to do here at Rand Marine on a global scale. So to see everybody doing it locally in our community, right in my backyard, it's amazing. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be on the call and be part of this community. Like Joanne said, my name is Tom Tylek. I represent Rand Marine here in the U.S., in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast regions. And I am joined on the call by Darren Kirby. Darren is our global head of sales. He's joining us from the Netherlands today, and he will be able to answer any questions in the chat. So if anybody has questions as I'm going through this presentation, I encourage you to ask them in the chat, and Darren will be happy to answer those questions. So before we get started here, I just want to give a little background on how Marine got started, who we are, and our mission. So the company was founded by Richard Hardiman back in 2016. And the way it came about is Richard is from the Netherlands, and he was having coffee along one of the canals there. And he noticed a boat coming down the canal with 3 people on it, 1 person manning the boat, steering it. And there was a person on each side scooping litter and trash out of the canal. If you could imagine them using pool skimmers to sort of get trash and plastic and styrofoam, plastic bags, any kind of floating debris that was in the canal, they were manually scooping it out and placing it into trash baskets on the boat. And it looked like a very labor-intensive process to do this. So Richard thought to himself, man, there has to be a better way to get all of this trash out of this canal and out of other waterways. And right then and there, he sketched up the very first design for our Waste Shark. And you see there in that picture in the background is a picture of a whale shark, and that's actually where the design for our Waste Shark came from, and I'll elaborate on that a little bit further in. But our mission is very simple. We want to globally clean waterways from any kind of pollution, bio-waste, floating debris, plastics, trash, anywhere where we can get our products into to clean waterways. That is our goal. So if we fast forward here, about 8 years, we are currently in 33 countries. So the company has grown extremely fast. And it's probably a little bit more than that. The slide is probably a little dated, but we are probably in more countries now. But as of this slide being created, we're in 33 different countries. So what exactly is a Waste Shark? Well, this is what a Waste Shark looks like. It comes in 2 different models. It comes in a fully autonomous mode, meaning it can operate on its own. You simply put it in the water. You use our software called Rand Marine Connect that you can have it route it. It'll work the route that you create for it within the software. So you simply bring it to whatever body of water you want it to operate in. You place it in the water, and then it'll work in that body of water. It's battery operated, so 0 emission, 100% battery operated. It'll work in that body of water for up to 8 hours, collecting plastics, debris, bags, styrofoam, any kind of biomass, anything that's floating on the surface of the water. And as long as it fits in that basket, it's able to collect it and take it out of the water. It collects up to 132 pounds of trash in the basket before it needs to be emptied. It's a 42-gallon basket. And it also comes in a manual version as well. It comes in a manual version that comes with a remote control. So you could steer it via remote. It has a camera on the front of it, and the camera will show you anything up to about 550 yards that is in front of it. So it shows you right on the screen of the controller what you're looking at in the water. It can operate manually up to a 3-mile range, but we always recommend that you're operating it with what you can see on the monitor, and that's about 550 yards. And that is a fairly large distance. Once you put it in the water, to go 550 yards in a body of water and cover that area is a fairly large distance. So it comes with an 8-hour operational time. It's got a camera. It has a catamaran composite design. All of the materials that the Wayshark is built with are all marine grade materials. So it's meant to be, it's designed to be, it's built just like a boat. I mean, it's designed for saltwater. You can operate it in saltwater, freshwater. It's designed for both. The autonomous versions come with a LiDAR. So if they're operating in the water, they will avoid any kind of obstacles in the water. So even if you have a route created for it, and there's another boat or a dock or something in the water, it is designed and has the tech to be able to avoid it and go around it. Just some key takeaways from our Waysharks. They are up to 80% more cost effective than manual labor. I mean, you can literally put them in the water and they will operate on their own if you have the autonomous version, or even the manual version can be operated with a single person. They're not that difficult to move around. We do recommend that you do have 2 people to move them around, but they can certainly be moved around with just 1 person. I have one here in New Jersey. I move it around by myself all the time. So it is easy to do with 1 person. They're 100% electric. They all come data enabled. So for New Jersey Clean Communities, I know the focus is litter cleanup, and that is what they are designed to do, to take litter out of the water. But they do all come equipped with sensors. Standard, they come with a depth and temperature sensors, so they are able to tell you the depth and the temperature of the water. But we do have a very vast options of sensors that you can equip on them that can tell you all sorts of water quality data that you're looking to pull out of the water. Again, 0 impact on the environment. There are 0 emissions. Extremely low maintenance. The only maintenance that they really need is you have to keep the batteries charged. So when you're done using it, you plug it in, charge the batteries, and then just wash them off when you take them out of the water. Some of our customers down below, again, we have these all over the globe, but just a few that you may know ring a bell here in the US. Epcot, Universal, Disney has a few, Port of Houston has a few. We do operate some in the Hudson. Hudson River Trust has one that they operate on the Hudson. So there are a bunch floating around in the US here. And what are they designed for? What was the Wayshark designed for? Well, really, it's quite simple. I mean, they were designed for any body of water that they can operate in where trash collects. So anything, they don't move very fast, and they were designed that way specifically for not to be a threat to any kind of species living in the water. So they do move only at 1.6 knots. So they're any body of water that doesn't have strong currents, they can operate in. So harbors, ports, marinas, coastline and inland waterways, municipalities that have a lot of different bodies of water, natural reserves, hospitality, theme parks, parks and recreations. I mean, the list really goes on. Anywhere where there's a body of water that could use some cleaning, these Waysharks are fantastic for. Just some photos. You could see some of the trash that was collected in some of these. So they don't only collect plastic and waste, they do a fantastic job of also collecting any kind of biomass that's in the water. So if there's an overgrowth of plants or any kind of anything that's an overburden to a waterway, they're able to collect as well. You can see they do collect a lot of trash and plastic. So they do a great job with that. And they're also very, they're not that big. They're only about 4 feet by 3 feet wide. So they're able to get into a lot of places where you may not be able to get with a boat if you're trying to manually clean up a canal or a waterway. They do get into tighter places, which they're fantastic for. And again, they're remote control, so you can maneuver them in and out. They can get right up against the wall or, you know, an edge of something to be able to scoop up plastic. And plastics and trash and litter, they do tend to build up in certain places, corners of something, or they do tend to there's a current that always brings them to a certain point. So the Waste Shark is great for getting into small places. But with that being said, small isn't always the best. So we do have another option, another product called the Mega Shark. And the Mega Shark is the same exact concept as the Waste Shark. It's designed to do the same exact thing, just at a much larger scale. So there you can see it does have a center console. So you can actually operate it while on board the vessel. Or again, you can operate it with the remote. There isn't a fully autonomous version of the Mega Shark just yet. That's something we have in the works. But this is a great option if you have a larger body of water, if maybe you have some trash that would be a little bit too much for the Waste Shark to handle. The Mega Shark is a fantastic option. Again, just some key features about the Mega Shark. Like I mentioned, the concept is exactly the same as the Waste Shark. It's just designed to do the job at a much larger scale. Again, completely zero emissions. It's environmentally friendly, 100% electric. It can be operated on board or with the remote control. So same exact concept as the Waste Shark. And again, where does it operate? Same places, you know, harbors, ports, marinas, anywhere where there's a body of water that needs has litter build up or can use a cleaning. The Mega Shark is a great option if the job is a bit of a larger scale than the Waste Shark can handle. Again, it's an operating, it's a battery operated vessel, so it does run for up to 8 hours on the vessel, on the battery life. It does have a camera, just like the Waste Shark, so you can operate it while looking at the camera, while operating it manually, or you can operate it on board as seen in the back there. Just some pictures of what it looks like, some of the waste it collects. You could see in that picture on the right there, a size comparison compared to the Waste Shark. It is much larger. It's a much larger unit. You could literally fit an entire Waste Shark just in the basket of the Mega Shark. So again, it's designed to do the same exact concept, just at a much larger scale. This is our Rand-Marine Connect software. So every Waste Shark and Mega Shark come with Rand-Marine Connect. It is a subscription product, but the autonomous version just gives you a little bit more data and just a little bit more stuff that you can do with the software. As you can see on the right there, that picture all the way on the right, the orange outline, that is a route that was set up for the Waste Shark. Same thing in that top picture, those orange lines on the screen within that body of water. Those are routes that you would set up for your Waste Shark. And then you would simply put them in the water, place them in that body of water, and they can operate on their own for up to 8 hours. The only time you would need to come and manually give them attention is if the basket gets full and you need to empty it. You simply take it out of the water, bring it back to shore, take it out of the water, empty the basket, and put it back in. That picture all the way on the bottom, see all those little dots? Those are all data set points. So any kind of sensors that are equipped on these Waste Sharks or Mega Sharks will ping data back to this software automatically, and they do it live. They do it every 60 seconds. You could change that setting if you need to, but whatever kind of data quality you need to pull out of the water, it will ping it and it will live feed it to Rand-Marine Connect. So anybody at your office or if you're at somewhere on your laptop, you could see the type of data that's coming out of the water, your water quality, without even being there. Just some accessories that we have for the Waste Shark that make it simple to move around. We have our shark trolley. You can see there, it's just a little trolley that the Waste Shark sits on, and it makes it incredibly easy to move around. Getting it in and out of the water, if you have to lower it, we have a shark cage. And then we also have a shark plow that can be attached, that can be used to clean the water. If you need to push something to the shore, if you don't want to scoop it into the basket, you could push it to the shoreline and be able to manually scoop it out of the water. We're always thinking about new accessories and how to make these things more efficient. So we're always working on new accessories that we can have available. So there will probably be a lot more coming in 2024. I wanted to touch on our sponsorship opportunity just briefly, because I know some townships and some municipalities, the funding's different, or maybe you don't necessarily want to spend your funding on a Waste Shark. We do have a sponsorship option where we can work with local organizations that hold their businesses, their corporate offices within your municipalities, so they could actually sponsor a Waste Shark for your community, and in return they get to brand that Waste Shark with their logos, with their company message. So they get to be involved in an environmental initiative, based in where the town that they're operating in. So it's a fantastic opportunity for local businesses, or even sometimes major corporations, to get involved locally and make a difference in a local community where they operate. And then this way, you guys can operate the Waste Shark, but they will fund it. Whatever organization wants a sponsorship, they will fund it. Just a few different purchase options that we have available. There's a number of different opportunities here. You can direct purchase it. Obviously, you could purchase a Waste Shark. There's a lease option. There's a subscription option, and of course, the sponsorship, like I just talked about. We're doing a special offer just for you guys being kind enough to have us on this call. We're giving a 15% discount to anybody that purchases a Waste Shark, and we're also doing a special lease option that I put on the bottom there, $15.70 a month with the option to buy. So anything you pay for the lease will go towards the purchase of a Waste Shark, and that is a limited deal just for 6 units. We're making 6 units available on that offer. Just my contact info, and if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And thank you again for having us as part of this call. It's an honor to be part of an organization like Clean Communities. Just want to play a quick video if I can. Hope I can get it to work, but let me just try playing a quick video for you guys so you guys could see what they look like when they're operational in the water. So I'm going to try to play this. It's just a minute. I'll talk over it because it doesn't work with the sound. It seems to skip, but there you could see them in the water. You could see the size comparison between the Mega Shark and the Waste Shark. But they just skim the surface of the water. They collect any kind of litter or waste that is in the water. They're operating, they could operate up to 8 hours, remote control or autonomous. They're environmentally friendly. We haven't had any issues. I always get the question asked, how are they with wildlife? We haven't had any issues. They do not operate at a fast speed. So any kind of wildlife that they come in contact with tends to avoid them. We haven't had any issues. If there ever is an issue, there's no moving parts within the Waste Shark. So it is just the basket. So if any kind of wildlife was to get in there, turtles or anything, they could just easily be let go. There's nothing inside the basket that would harm them. But knock on wood, we haven't had any issues, and I don't think we will. So thank you very much. I hope everybody got a good introduction to our products, and I'll be happy to answer any questions anyone may have.
I think everybody got a great introduction, and everyone wants one right now. I know I want my own Waste Shark. I know Darren has been very busy answering a lot of Q&A, and before I turn it over to Rebecca, I know the number one question without even looking, what everyone wants to know is how much do they cost? So
Sure.
a guesstimate or,
So the manual one is right about 25,000, and the fully autonomous one costs about 36. And I forgot to include in my presentation there, I am local. I live in Marlboro, so I'm in Monmouth County, and I do have my own Waste Shark here in New Jersey. So if anybody ever would like a live demo to see how these things operate in the water, just reach out to me, please. I'd be happy to come by and bring my Waste Shark so you could see it in person, and we could get it in the water and you could see, live how it operates.
yeah, we talked about doing a demonstration in the fall, and then the time just sort of got away from us, and I guess we just figured winter wasn't the best time to do it, but I think that's something we can try to host at different locations and invite all the municipal and county coordinators, and we certainly hope you will sign on to be an exhibitor and come down to Sustainability in Motion so folks can actually see the Waste Shark in person, and because everyone's going to want to take it with them. So
Absolutely.
Rebecca, I'm going to turn it over to you to field whatever questions that Darren didn't.
Okay, yeah, Darren got to most of them, but there were a lot, so I'm just trying to make
Yeah, and
sure.
I can say, I know this is not for ocean use. This is more for lakes and rivers, because we've had that combo.
Okay,
Yes.
that was a question here.
Yeah, so it's not designed for the ocean. The ocean is just a little bit too big of an area for it to manage in. But it can operate in bays and any kind of inlets where the current is not too strong. If the water's not too choppy and it doesn't have a strong current, it can operate there. Obviously, if there is some interest along a waterway that connects to the ocean somewhere, I would just have to take a look at it and see where it is and see what the currents and look like in that water.
I also have questions. Let's see. Do they require manual manipulation if they get stuck? Is there an automatic shutdown?
If they get stuck, they can get stuck depending on the water that they're operated in. If there is a lot of vegetation, they may require some manual, somebody to come and loosen it manually. Yes.
And another question is, how do you get the permissions for running one of these? Do you go to the township? How do you operate that way?
So again, that would depend on the body of water. Whoever's managing that body of water, you certainly want to have a conversation with them in regards to putting it in. But anywhere where there's a public ramp or a public body of water, I've had them all over the place, and I've never had an issue.
And I think I have one more that didn't get answered yet. Is there a defense from other boaters who might try to accidentally run it over or purposely? I don't know.
Well, no. If somebody doesn't see it in the water, we do not have a magic shield that will protect it if somebody doesn't see it. So we just ask that if you're operating it, obviously be very careful of your surroundings. If you're operating in a body of water that has boats around, please just be cautious and keep an eye out for boat traffic.
Well, I will chime in because, I always have extras to add. You have different options. I think you should add an option for like a tall flag that says like Litter Free New Jersey, or, the town name. So that way it's visible. Plus people know that it's actually doing litter cleanup.
That's a fantastic idea.
Just my 2 cents. But that was great. I think everyone loved it. We had so much great information today. I just want to answer a couple of brief mentions that were in the chat or in the Q&A before I do some closing remarks. Balloons, yes, we have, like, there was an issue or a discussion about Mylar balloons and how they do cause power outages. Yes, PSE&G used to be on our board, so we have discussed some partnerships with them to do outreach. Just not there yet, but still working on it. Someone mentioned masks. I think it was Hamilton, love Hamilton. I'm going to go back, send me an email privately. Way back when in 2019, when I worked for Union County, we did a lot of outreach and graphics on mask and glove litter. So I'd be more than happy to share that with you. I don't know if too many people are dealing with that, but still. The calendar that Jeff showed is available on njclean.org. Take it, download it. It's yours. I'm a sharer. And Carol, thank you for your suggestion, Jeff. The counties and the towns would like to take our calendar and make each month like a picture file, which is a great idea if folks are doing like a monthly email. They can take the lessons and use them separately rather than just in the calendar. So I'm just going to reiterate AJ's message, I think, which was everyone's message today for Clean Communities, which is to raise awareness, boost engagement, inspire our youth. I think everything that we learned today is intended to do that. Unless there are any final questions, I just really want to say thank you to everyone that presented today, all 265 people that are here now, but I think we were up to 270 that joined us today. And most importantly, have a wonderful, happy holiday and a healthy new year. And I will see you all in 2024. Thank you.